one of the key points of starting something, which means you don't need to build anything. You just need to find a way to visualize the idea the best way.
I think consulting in general, it requires a lot of skills that you need in entrepreneurships. I would always advise try management consulting because it will teach you structure, it will teach you problem solving. If anyone asks me, I want to start a company, there's an advice that I'll always share is found the right co-founder. When you get out of the corporate world where you have a good situation, good salary, you have a career that you can build, it's very scary.
So it's about selling. You raise capital, you're selling the vision of your company.
The first time they called me back, they said, we cannot change anything. The second day, we give you 1 more week. It's critical. You need to be very realistic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Human Orbit podcast. Joining me today is another special guest. He actually left his management consulting job to start a company. He is Othmane Saifaoui, and I'm very glad to have you, Othmane, with me. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So I would love to start exactly from your background, which is around management consulting. I did some research about the best startups in the last decade worldwide and also here in the region. And I found out about 20 to 30% of those founders, they have either a financial services background or a management consulting background. Yes. But the more successful ones are who have management consulting backgrounds. Why are you guys so, successful in, managing and building businesses?
No, it's very funny because yesterday I was interviewing someone and he asked me exactly the same question. I think consulting in general, it requires a lot of skills that you need in entrepreneurships. So like in my previous life as a consultant, sometimes you get into a project that will last 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, like I did a project for the Equestrian Federation in a country. I never seen a horse in my life. So you need to understand the sector, then understand the pain points, suggest a solution, and all of this within 4 weeks. When you build a company, it's a little bit the same at the beginning. You need to go fast. You need very quickly to get into a sector, understand which pain point you can address, do an MVP, test it quickly. So I think the fact that the similarity between being a management consultant and a founder helps a lot.
So are you saying that you used to be small startups inside management consulting firms? Because so if I look at, let's say, I'm a big fan of Monzo. I'm not sure if you know Monzo, a digital bank in the UK. Tom, ex-consultant. If we bring some examples from the region, like Karim, for example,
yes.
Both co-founders, Mudassir and Magnus, are from McKinsey. So do you think that those management consulting firms are set up in a way that they give you autonomous to figure out how to start an MVP and validate and,
Yeah, it's when I think if someone young asks me what doesn't have a passion for a topic and want to do anything, I would always advise try management consulting because it will teach you structure, it will teach you problem solving, it will teach you to learn a new skill or a new topic fast. So I think this will help you a lot one day when you are passionate about something, you want to do your own thing, this will help you a lot. And I think this is, if you take the founders of Karim or all these companies, probably this helped them in their journey a lot.
If someone is today, as a management consultant, an executive, or whatever, and they want to start a company, yes. So what kind of advice you would give them?
It's a good question. If anyone asks me, I want to start a company, there's an advice that I'll always share is found the right co-founder. It's very important. Okay. It's a journey that is tough. It's very hard to do it alone.
Yeah.
And it's as important as the person you will marry. You will spend probably 10 years building this company or even more. You will have bad days, good days. Yeah. Having someone you can really rely on, and I'm lucky to have someone like this, is really important. So I think that's the first thing. Then about the sector, what type of business to launch, etc. I don't think it's relevant. Now, when we launched 2 different companies in the last 4 years, what I realized by doing this is you can launch any type of company. The requirement will always be the same.
Yeah, the way to do it is the same.
Yes,
it's just
to get
the
to the
product
pain
will
point,
be different. Yeah,
build a prototype, then get a team to scale it, and you will follow the same steps. So it's mostly I think.
Do you remember the first day, or let's say the first official day of Makan, which the company that you started first after you left BCG? Can you walk me through that first day? You are officially at Makan.
Of course. Actually, the first day I was still at BCG. So we took what we call a leave of office in consulting. So with me and my co-founder, he was at Oliver Wyman, I was at BCG, and we took
he's also a consultant.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
We both took 4 months of leave to work on figuring out what do we want to launch, analyzing a little bit the market, how to do it. And the first day is when we created a PDF with furniture that we could rent for Makan. And we started sending it around to our friend, our network, WhatsApp groups. And the first day for me is the day I got the first order. So now I had to make it happen. So this was a very exciting day, very reassuring, because when you get out of the corporate world where you have a good situation, good salary, you have a career that you can build, it's very scary. Am I going to be able to do something alone? So the first day you get this first order, it unlocks a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then you can do 100,000, 10,000 after this. You are much more confident into the process.
This is so interesting. So you are telling me that your MVP was a PDF with some pictures of the furniture.
Yes.
That the idea was to help customers to rent out furnitures instead of buying them.
Yes.
And then maybe you can charge them a subscription, a monthly subscription.
Exactly.
This is one of the most and one of the key points of starting something, which means you don't need to build anything. Yeah. So you just need to find a way to visualize the idea the best way. And then you talk to potential customers and then you get the feedback from the very beginning.
100%.
Yeah.
I think as a founder, even I think if you ask large companies today, Karim, I'm sure he will be unhappy about most of the things that are going on in his business. And it's normal.
Yeah.
You need to always be not satisfied about your current product because you created something that can just fit the demand today.
Yeah.
And then you know that later on you will work on making this PDF a website, you will work on getting a back office so that you can manage this order better. So this will come later, but you need to create really the minimum product. For us, it was creating a PDF, having one supplier that can supply so that we can get things started.
And what was the hardest moment for you at Makan? I want to know exactly the hardest moment, and also how many times you almost went out of business.
I think last time was last month. So it's
last month. Wow.
I mean, there are different things that can get you out of business. So
macro level. You've got
So big things that you can foresee is I run out of cash. I need to raise. So with Makan, at some point we were raising our seed. It was taking longer than we expected, and you see cash running out. We were also financing from our own savings initially. So you start saying, okay, I'm not going to make it 3 more months, but alhamdulillah, then you end up always finding a solution. And then you have things that you don't expect. Like last month, one of our banks told us, we're closing your account and you have 5 days to
It's
move.
crazy. It is crazy.
And this, when you start having a larger operations, 5 days, you cannot move a bank account. You need to get your payments, you need to pay your suppliers, you need to pay your team. So this, now, alhamdulillah, it's all. But you have a lot of these things that happen like this in a year. But with time, you realize actually, yes, at this time, you are at risk of getting out of business. But you realize that you learned with time that anytime it happens, then you need to learn a little bit more about compliance, whatever, and you will solve it. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to dig deeper into your bank account to close your account, which is a very bad practice from banks. I hope that they will somehow change, the criteria to work on this, especially with SMEs and startups. How did you manage to get out? Because I know for a fact that so many companies went out of business because of this issue. So maybe we give a lesson to some people who are facing the same situation.
So I think first there is a root cause. I think the SME market is not addressed in UAE. Some companies are trying, but after the last crisis, all SMEs left the country, so no one wants to really push hard on taking a little bit of risk and addressing this market. But now if it happens to you, there are solutions. So there is a platform that is called Sanadak. It's a platform by the central bank where you can raise a complaint, and they will ensure that within 24 hours, your bank at least will call you back. And then, like anything in entrepreneurship, don't take no for an answer. So the first time they called me back, they said, we cannot change anything. The second day, we give you 1 more week. And then you continue pushing. You send them anything that you think will help in the decision. You document really what you do, the transactions, everything. And then eventually you can get, okay, we will raise an appeal to review your case. And then they can review it. So in the government, in banks or consumer or in consumer, you have platforms that can help you raise a complaint, and this helps. And then it's on you to not take no for an answer. Actually,
I always advise people, especially SMEs, when they start to have at least 2 to 3 bank accounts open, and working properly.
We learned it the hard way.
This is the first thing I do. minimum 2 bank accounts with 2 different banks. And we have to do our homework to see who is SME startup friendly first before we go to do that, because people tend to have that, banking for consumers is the same for SMEs, but actually it's not the same. Regulations are not the same. Compliance, everything is not the same. But I think it is a good lesson.
It's evolving. I think the challenge is that you have very nice banks now for SME that are providing good service. But the issue is that when you are a startup, you are not a corporate, you're not like a big company where you know exactly what to do, what not to do. So if we're able to get really like a relationship with the bank, closer relationship managers that can nurture the relationship, help you always make the right choices, I think it would also avoid this.
Agree. Anyway, so let's stick to building Makan.
Yes.
So today we've got a lot of new tools. Obviously, building something 5 or 6 years ago is not like today.
Yes.
We've got ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, XAI, whatever you want. What would you do differently if you have ChatGPT at the moment you started Makan?
I like this question. It's crazy how things change so fast. So for example, we spoke about this PDF. In the same time it took us to get this PDF, today you can get a website with the product.
Yeah.
And even less.
Yeah.
Like you can go Claude or just ChatGPT, create a website very fast. Most things that change are in this area. Like on getting your MVP, I think you can get a front of your MVP very fast. There are a lot of things that don't change. Understanding the pain point, doing your research on the market, understanding who are the players, getting in touch with them, understanding the clients, talking to them. I don't think that this changes a lot. You need to do the legwork so that you can get this understanding.
Yeah, so maybe it is more helpful to build your MVP and, to have something in hand to try it rather than a PDF. You can have a working website. Maybe they can check out and you can see orders instead of messages. Yeah,
it stays a nice to have because for this first 10 orders, it's not the website or the PDF that is going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
In general, it's people that are in your network or network of your network. It's more where you're able to touch a pain point and then you'll get these 10 orders.
Did you deliver on your promise also? So because you are promising something, so you have to deliver on that. So I hosted Brad King the other day and he said something so controversial about AI. He said, I asked him, what is the most controversial thing about AI? He is a futurist. He said, AI will eliminate capitalism. Do you agree with that?
I think it depends how you define capitalism. So capitalism today, as it has been for the last 5-10 years, is there's a huge concentration of capital within a few companies and people that are pushing all innovation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
And if this is how he defines it, I agree with him 100%. I was with a friend yesterday that showed me a new Shopify equivalent that he built a tool for you to build your e-commerce store alone. 5 years ago, you needed a team of 50 engineers to be able to build just an MVP. And this can eliminate capitalism because anyone can come out with something that is addressing a pain point better than the large players. Developing it is not the challenge anymore. So yes, I think he has a very good point. It will distribute more. I think what AI will do mostly, yes, it will eliminate jobs, but the biggest impact is that it will create a big separation in the world between people that really master these tools that will become like God on earth. Like you can do what 100 other people are doing manually or with their computer. And you will still have people that execute, but unfortunately, the quality of life will deteriorate a lot.
We will come back to this. This is very important. I think that's a very, very important topic. So we're talking about AI. You are not a tech guy. I'm assuming you never written a single code in your life like me. How important is for you to keep yourself up to date with technology and learning about technology itself? Maybe you don't need to, but you are doing that, to manage your business.
It's critical. I think you need to be aware of the evolution of technology. And for me, development, I've done a little bit of code when I was studying and in internship. Not much, like I'm not a tech guy, but when I did it and today when we build new tools for our business, it's not anymore about coding. It's about really the product part became more important. It's about like understanding exactly this requirement. Formalizing this requirement extremely well, and then knowing what are the tools out there so that you can turn this requirement into a tool. And this is something you need to master as a founder today. And then whether you create the tool with AI yourself or you ask someone that is proficient in AI to do it, it's the same. But you need to be aware of it. And Like with my co-founder, we are both ex-consultant. None of us is a technical guy. So if we are not doing this work of staying aware of the tools and how they are developing, we cannot manage our teams that are actually developing these tools.
So what is the percentage, if I can ask, of your involvement in key decisions around technology? I'm assuming maybe you have a CTO or a head of engineering or whatever, but what is the percentage of your involvement in key decisions around technology?
So Youssef and me, Youssef is my co-founder. We are very, very involved in different topics. I think any technology decision, one of us is involved in maybe 50% of the decision. So that means like right now, this week, we are doing a major change in our back office that requires us to choose what will be the future interface. I don't know any of these interface tools. But what I've been doing this week, what I need to do more next week is understanding each tool, creating a matrix to be able to understand how do they compare to each other, how they serve the requirement that we built, and be able to comfort myself that, okay, the tech guy that is recommending me to do that is making the right decision.
Interesting.
So yes, I think it's still critical. Maybe tomorrow, if you have a very strong CTO, then we can trust him to make this decision.
But why you didn't hire a CTO, if I may ask?
We tried a lot. It's very tough today to hire a strong CTO. First, when you are young, it's very expensive. If you want a very strong CTO, like a strong CTO today in the market, you need to put $500,000 per year to be able to get them. Very strong CTO, you need to get them in the founding team initially. Otherwise, it's very hard to bring a very strong CTO, give him the keys of all the tech, and maybe they can leave 1 or 2 years later. It's something I think we failed on. Maybe we're not good at it. It's a topic that comes back often. We didn't crack it. But so far, we found it very difficult to bring a CTO. We can bring people that are more tech managers, developers, but the CTO we didn't manage so far.
Actually, this is one of the lessons also I learned is having a co-founder. So I'm a founder. I also, started businesses. And the lesson I learned is having a co-founder, especially with a technical background, it will take you 10x, 20x what we are doing today. And I will never, ever do something in the future if I don't have a CTO with me. That's definitely, yeah. Well, I think one of the other options is you can have some very good people, who can start, from, say, engineering, at a junior level, and then they can be, promoted until they can manage. But yeah, it's a learning process, and it's part of
what do you do? Because when you choose a co-founder, the first criteria that come are not the skills. It's more the fit, the value, the alignment.
Yeah.
So if you don't find a CTO that match these skills, do you still get any CTO out there as a co-founder? I don't know. I have a friend actually. He built a prototype with a co-founder CTO. 3 months later, the co-founder CTO had a big job offer and told him, I will take it. So it's difficult.
It's so hard. People are really underestimating this thing. It's extremely hard. And funny enough, if you go to YC, Y Combinator, they tell you if you have a CTO with you. So let's say we have 10 applications, 5 have CTOs and 5 that do not have CTOs. We will accept 4 from the 5 of the ones that have co-founders as CTOs, and we accept only 1 from out of the 5 that they don't have.
I think this is gonna change. Again, I think the CPO is gonna become more important than the CTO. Now you can try it. Like if you have requirements that are super well set, it's easy to get it developed. I mean, easy, I exaggerate, but you will still need CTO in companies that are heavy on really research, like super technical. Like if you are IBM building really complete new tools, yes. But if you are building something that is going to address a pain point, the CPO part is going to become more and more important in the future.
Are you so optimistic about AI, or are you from the other side? So we have 2 sides. One, AI is going to have a massive impact on humanity, and it will displace labor, displace jobs and so on. And then the other part, it will create more jobs. It will create more, more
I'm 100% optimistic. My parents are scientists, so science for me and development is the center of humanity. You will have phases where you might lose a little bit so that you can gain more later.
Yeah.
And it happened with the Industrial Revolution when they moved from farming manually all the farms to using engines to do it. A lot of people lost their job, but the sons of these people now, they are maybe engineers, doctors. So it's natural when you have a big innovation like this. Initially, it will burn a little bit, but later on it will yield benefits.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to move to another topic, which I think is the most important part of a company, which is sales, or we can call it distribution, as you like. Do you remember the first customer of Makan?
Yes, very well. It was someone in the network of my co-founder that puts properties on as vacation homes, so that rent them out on Airbnb. And for him, it was a very good use case because he could rent the furniture, and when he needs to sell the property, he can just return it.
And did you expect this when you started to think about this product, that you can sell it to others, who are renting their
It
homes?
was a segment that we expected, but I didn't expect it to be my first client. For me, my first client would be a consultant that just landed or you told me when you landed here, you were looking to furnish your place and wanted a fast, efficient solution to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to go fast, because you eliminate your hypothesis very fast when you do that.
Yeah, so it's very important. At least you figure out the best go-to-market strategy for you to have as many customers as you need to keep building and growing. And how important is sales for you as a founder of a business?
For us, we are in both our businesses. We are a pure B2C company today. So our sales are mostly today coming from the Meta, Google, all the marketing, so digital marketing. It's really also the engine of our business. So our cost of acquisition, the number of leads we are getting, it's a big part of our work to continue to grow this. So yes, of course, it's critical. You need to be very realistic. So if at some point you're not selling, that means your product is not matching the requirements. So
yeah. So also raising capital. You mentioned raising capital.
Yes.
So it's about selling. You raise capital, you're selling the vision of your company, or hiring employees. Also, it's a selling activity. Convincing your wife or your mother to start a business is another selling activity. What was the most important lesson, in the entire spectrum of building this Makan, in learning how to pitch or how to message the ideas to get what you want from the other side?
It's a very good question. I think the different examples you mentioned on when you need to sell, I think there's something that always comes back is focusing what you are selling. It's whether you are trying to convince your partner to do something or trying to sell something to a client. If you are able to nail down the reason why he needs to accept to do it and be very focused on it, it's much easier. So if you want to sell something to a client and you have 10 selling points and you are going through these 10 selling points, you are just trying to guess and everything will be diluted. But if you know your client very well and you know exactly, okay, his pain point is he's moving tomorrow, he needs his furniture to be there tomorrow. So I'm going to focus really on, by end of day tomorrow, all your home will be furnished. You don't need to go to a single store. If you are talking to someone that is more B2B, renting out these homes, it's a different selling point. So it's nailing down the value proposition and really filtering to what is essential for him is helping a lot in the sale.
Interesting, which means you don't need to talk a lot about your product. You need to solve the problem
exactly
or the pain points they have. And also I say you need to learn how to sell without selling, which means you are in the process of solving someone's problem and your job is to make sure they are convinced of all the reasons that you are trying to outlining for them to go with.
Exactly. We have a training for our customer support team, because when you hire someone in customer support that is going to answer client on the chat, on calls, in many call centers, they are very pushy in their sales. They would tell you, we have an amazing sale right now, minus 50%, you need to buy or you're going to lose the opportunity. And a big part of our training is don't try to sell. You need to understand the client. So you just came in Dubai. Did you come alone? Do you have kids? Now you know how many rooms he has. You know his situation. And you try first to understand what's his problem. How can you help him?
Yes,
and then you offer him something that can help him, but you're not selling it. Say, okay, you have this problem. This is a potential solution. If you like it, buy. If you don't like it, we are happy to help.
That's interesting. I like this. Yeah, I like it. What is the thing that you are most proud of that you sold in your life?
That I sold?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be a product, something, so we can sell it. We can say a big thing that you managed to, to convince or whatever.
Honestly, I think I'm quite lucky because in my journey, I always had around me people that were very supportive. So when I left BCG, people around me were very supportive in helping me, and some of them are investors today in my company. My wife was super supportive as well when I decided to launch my company. So honestly, I don't have a strong example. And maybe it comes back to, for me, I'm not good at sales. I don't sell. So I can spend a lot of time understanding how I can help you. And if I can offer something that matches your requirement, I offer it. But
yeah, that's the art of sales, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what people have to do in sales. This is the point. Yeah, you need to spend time not selling but trying to solve the problem
yes,
of others. Interesting. Sales is a big portion of what we do in our business. You are talking and you are saying that you are not a salesperson. You think you are not. I think you are. So if someone is starting a business today and they are like you, but they are in a B2B, not B2C, yes, which maybe it's not your target segment at this point of time. Maybe you tried, or I don't know exactly. But so what kind of advice you give them to find a way to go to market, especially after validating the MVP? So we have some steps to go through. We build the MVP, we try with some customers, we validate the need, and then we need to sell more. So what kind of advice you can give? It doesn't B2B, so maybe B2B, B2C, as you like.
Yeah, B2B, honestly, we tried. We had some very limited successes, but we never had a big success there. We are not good at it as we want to be. And we are still trying, and we will be one day, but we are still in the learning phase, I think.
Yeah, you should hire then Ned Phillips.
Maybe you will introduce me.
Yeah.
On B2C, it's clearer. I think on B2C, there is a matrix of different type of personas, and each of these persona have different type of problems. What you need to do is go to the matrix. So I don't know, if you are doing ads, for example, then you will have one ad for each quadrant of this matrix, one persona, one problem. Yeah. And you will see that some of them pick up. Okay, this is where you focus. And you max out this part, and then you move to the next one. Yeah. So mistake people often do is they spend too much time on the product, adjusting the product. Maybe the furniture needs to be like this or like this or like this. But actually, it's not there. It's really about, again, understanding what persona is big enough, what persona problem are large enough. Once you have it, then you can adjust the product to match perfectly this persona and this problem.
Leads exactly to my next question, which is product first or distribution?
I think distribution, 100% distribution.
Yeah.
And a lot of successful companies have proven it. Once you establish presence or even dominance, if you are lucky, on a market, then you can improve your product for years, every year.
Exactly.
But if you start with the product, you can spend years making it perfect and then realizing it doesn't match this market or there's no need for it. So I think distribution for sure.
I've yet to meet a founder or a very good and successful businessman who said product first. I've never met someone who said, which is fascinating. And you have a product, if you don't know how to distribute it, it's useless. Yes. Whatever is this product. And funny enough, we are not Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. So maybe these are the only guys that they're able to build something and dictate whatever they want, to the.
But it's funny you say that, because we have this chat sometimes with my co-founder. Like, I would love one day to have and I think it's the day where for me I would have finished my entrepreneurial journey. Like, it doesn't excite me as much to grow a business.
Yeah.
Where I would think, okay, now let's make a step forward in terms of really innovation or product, and where you only focus is the product. I think it's fun, actually. And
it's not easy.
But when you can afford it, when you are not like Elon Musk, when he tries to go to Mars, it becomes his passion. It's his game. He's working on this every day. He doesn't care if some people will pay to go or not. But if he's able to go, he would have done something that no human before him have done.
I agree. Yeah, totally agree.
It's a different game. It's not entrepreneurship. It's something. It's more research, I think, than entrepreneurship.
Yeah, interesting. So let's move to the other chapter, which is around talent. So we have a product. We learn how to build. We are able to distribute or sell it. But when we want to scale, is about talent. Scale is about talent. And funny enough, you are talking about, somehow you are not able to get a CTO. What was the mistake you did, you think, that was the main, issue for you, or that was, let's say, preventing you from getting this CTO, in hiring a CTO? What kind of mistakes or, things you did wrong in this?
I think it's a mistake we did also on other role. It's clarifying what is really the scope of work and job description of this person. Because very often, especially when you are small, you want to hire someone to do this and to do this as well. And maybe if he is good at this, he can do it as well. It never works. You need to be very clear, or okay, this is the exact scope I need this person to cover. And I'm going to look for someone that matches exactly this scope. Don't think about
extra.
extra.
Yeah.
So I think this would have helped us, and today is helping us a lot. The second thing is now, after hiring a few people over the last years, there are some things I don't compromise on anymore, which are structure. For me, someone that is super structured, is able to communicate his thought clearly, concisely, is able to take a problem, break it into pieces. And this applies to a CTO, a marketing manager, anyone that any role. I've seen that, at least in our company, everyone that is not with us anymore, it was because of this issue.
But how do you know that they are structured? So what do you do in the interview? Let's say I'm joining you and you're trying to figure out if I am structured.
You double down on the case studies. There's something very simple that you can do on an interview to figure it out is, I do a case study with you today, for example, on any topic. How do we sell this glass? And we can spend an hour talking about it. And at the end, I told you, okay, there is someone new that came in the room. Can you summarize it? Summarize for him what was our discussion? Very simple. And you will clearly identify who is structured. It's going to start by, this was the problem. These are the main topics that you addressed to solve it. And this is the solution we found. And you have people that will tell you the history. They will speak as long as the discussion you had with him before.
So structure, what else? Things that you don't compromise on when you are hiring?
Values. So values can have a lot of things. So I'm not talking about good people or bad people. Alhamdulillah, we're always surrounded by good people. But is he aligned with the culture of the company, with the vision? So sometimes during the interview, you see someone that is very good, structured. He's good in his skill, his topic. But you already see that on one aspect of your culture, it's not going to match. And you are tempted to compromise. You say, okay, actually, I really need someone. He is good. Let's get him on board. He will not last more than 3-6 months, and it will stop.
Structure, values, another one, or we have?
No, I think these are the two today that we don't compromise on.
Skills, experience, everything else can be learned and can be solved somehow.
Yeah, it depends on the job you are hiring for. If you are hiring tomorrow a CTO, you need to hire someone that has experience doing that. Depends on the role that you are hiring for.
If you have to give a percentage of luck, so I'm a big believer that a big portion of the life of a founder, there is something called luck. So you think you are smart, you think you are good, you think, whatever you are, there is luck. Luck can be timing, can be market, can be whatever. And also in people, sometimes you do your best to get the best people, and you do your job, to get out everything you need from them. And luck is part of it. Do you think that you hired some people and luck was part of this? I'm talking about good ones that you... Yeah.
Was it luck? I mean, honest answer, I know that when I hired the good people, I was patient and I was diligent in the way we made this hiring. And me, my co-founder, our senior managers, in really being sure at the end. And when we didn't, most of the time we were not that diligent. And I realized I didn't test this part, and now it's biting me back. So I don't know if I believe in luck. I believe in something bigger than us, for sure. But if you do things right and you are patient enough, you're not talking about this week. Maybe you get unlucky this week, but maybe next week it will compensate. But if you do things right and you are patient enough to do it in the long term, it will end up paying. And then where you get lucky, maybe you will have a successful business, or you will have a super successful business like Nvidia. Good thing they got lucky because they started in gaming and now it's at the center of AI. So is it luck? I don't know, but it was already successful before AI.
Yeah.
So
it is part of it. Yeah. Who was the best hire you ever did in your companies?
I think honestly, we have a very, very beautiful team and strong team today. Everyone that is with us today, they continue to impress me every day. We have many people in the company that had an exponential growth in the company that started as junior and today are managing team, and they continue to learn every day. So, I mean, we are quite fast with my co-founder when we see that it doesn't work to just stop it. So people we have today with us, for me, they are all super strong.
The other thing is around talent, AI, and there is a lot of shift. You mentioned that in the very beginning. Are you concerned about the structure of the workforce or the labor displacement that will happen because of AI?
Yes, of course, it impacts us. It's easier for a fast-growing company that is still young because today we already have a lot of use cases that were done by people in our team before.
Yeah.
But because we are growing fast, you can mobilize the talent of this team into other topics. We are also training people to be able to use tools that didn't exist before. But I think if we were more stable, like a big corporate company growing at a normal rate of 5-10% per year, it's super tough. Management consulting, for example, super tough because
every knowledge work is at risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot mobilize these people into doing something else. So I think
they start companies.
Maybe, yeah. That's the thing. Some people might be sad for 3-6 months, but happier the next year.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So tell me about one skill that every person on earth should have.
I don't know if it's a skill, but I repeat myself again. I think structure is key to life. Once you master it, it makes your life much easier at work, at home, in sport, nutrition. Pick anything. Like if you structure your day very well on what you're gonna eat exactly, if you are following your macros or you're gonna hit them, then you're never gonna meet your targets. Work is the same. If you don't have a very good plan you're not going to be able to deliver the result you want. So I think it's the most important one. Having said that, the opposite in general, what you see often is that very creative people that have the best ideas can sometimes lack this structure. So you said, does everyone needs to have it? I think we still need to have creative artist people that maybe are less structured.
Yeah, interesting. And funny enough, everyone is wondering why Elon Musk is able to manage 5-6 companies at one go. It's about structure, or maybe we can call it system and process.
Yes.
You've got a system, and then you've got some processes inside the entire system, and structure is the core of everything that you do. So last question for you. If you are not building Makan today, what would you have been building?
I think that's what we love with my co-founder is always like taking a very dusty sector that will exist forever. You will always need someone to paint this wall. You will always need someone to put curtains. And then think, okay, how do I make it the Karim of wall painting, the Karim of curtains, the Deliveroo of any service or product that will always be there, that is not, still very dusty, not digitalized. And this is where we like to bring disruption. So I think we'll continue doing it the same way.
Yeah, talking about Karim, don't you fear the shift these guys are doing in terms of being super apps and maybe they come to your business somehow? Did you think about this as maybe they can be some competitors in the future? They could
be partners as well. We talked in the past with super apps to work with them. Yeah. It's more an opportunity for us. So if we are doing it right and we already cracked, because some super apps today are competitors, they are already. But being able to digitalize the entire value chain, not just suggesting the service on the app, is another challenge. And this is what we do. Yeah. So working with them would be a win-win. They have a large client base. We can maybe acquire a client with them, and we can ensure that it gets delivered correctly.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you so much, Othmane.
Thank you, Mahmoud.
To have you. Really enjoyed
it was
this.
A great chat. Thank you so much.